Good morning, everyone. We're going to be talking water today and how to make the body properly detox through the kidneys. So, there is basically a yogic technique to drinking water, with a few other kind of things that I've added. And when you drink water that is pure and energized, it's going to be a lot easier for your body to drain the impurities to the kidneys. And if you start drinking water in this way, you're going to feel a lot better, a lot more energy, etc. So, the first step is to get pure water. And my favorite is some form of spring water. I like spring water better than RO or distilled because I don't think it's natural to have a very low TDS in water. That means total dissolved solids. And I've heard stories of, people who have raised their kids on RO water and then they take them to the dentist, and the dentist can actually see through their teeth that they're drinking a water that has no dissolved solids in it, because when you drink water like that, it's very hungry and it will pull minerals and stuff that can be dissolved in water away from your cells and into the water. So there's that to consider. So I would start with a good spring water. And then the next thing to consider is that it's something I noticed is that, when they make potable water, they use some type of sterilization method. And the one I get uses ozone. They bubble the water with some ozone. And apparently it all bubbles out after, but from what I've noticed with my senses is that it doesn't all bubble out. So I take my spring water and I run it through a filter. So I think it's important to get sterilization chemicals out of the water so that you have 100% pure water. So you have a spring water that's now been filtered from sterilization chemicals. So now you have a pure water. And then you take this water and you put it in a copper vessel that is open to the top. So it either has some holes or there's no lid. And you leave it in there for 12 hours. And then it becomes pure, energized water. And the reason it has to be exposed to air is because water in the human body is exposed to air. And so if you leave water with the lid on, you can actually tell it starts to smell musty. And so our senses tell us not to drink water that's been in a container with a lid. And now it doesn't work with bottled water. Bottled water doesn't smell musty, but if you take bottled water, take the cap off, leave it for a day, and then put the cap back on, let it sit for a bit, and then open it, it'll smell musty once those chemicals have evaporated out. So I'm going to show you shortly here, inside the house, how I actually do my water.
Alrighty, so here we are. I'm going to demonstrate. As you can see, I have the copper water vessel on the left, and on the right, I have my Berkey filter, and then I have my spring water on the left. And so the water that I use from the vessel, I try to make sure it's been in there for 12 hours, or at least 4 hours will at least be somewhat beneficial. So you can see me grabbing water there, and then this is how I filter it. So I get spring water, but I notice that the sterilization methods used bother my stomach. So I always run it through a filter, and it doesn't have to be Berkey, just something that's capable of taking out, in my case, ozone. There could possibly be chlorine. So I like to take that out, and now in the bottom, I have absolutely pretty much pure water. And then I pour that into the copper vessel, and now this will sit for hopefully 12 hours before I drink it. I'm just taking a closer look at the Berkey. I just use the black filters, and this is the copper vessel. It's important to have those holes in the top, or possibly no lid at all, because it needs to aerate. And then I got a couple things in the water. I have a Jivarisam from the Isha Foundation. Very great design. That's from Sadhguru. And you put Vibhuti in, which is sacred ash, which helps detoxify the body. And the other thing I put in as well is shungite, because it energizes the water in a particular way. And yeah, that's how I do my water. I've been drinking like this for multiple years, and it has brought me a huge increase of health.
And then the next thing we're going to talk about is how to get rid of heavy metals in the body. Heavy metals is something that we are exposed to a lot of. We have rising rates of, declining mental faculties, like, more dementia, more Alzheimer's, and in general, a rapid increase in, decline in cognition. So next thing is detoxing heavy metals, and the way we do that is spirulina and chlorella. Those are my favorite two to use. I think the cilantro juice is also very potent, but that if you do that, you have to be careful because it pulls a lot of metals. So I haven't figured that out yet, but I'd say probably drink it with a lot of water because heavy metals move to the kidneys. Another thing is that some naturopath found out that water that's high in the element silica or the mineral silica helps detox aluminum to the kidneys. So it's good to have some waters that are high silica. I know for the ones personally available to me, I know Fiji water's high. I don't like that it's in plastic, but it's still high in silica. And I think Gerolsteiner's as well is quite high in silica. It's always good to have some water high in silica in your diet. And then, another thing is that if you start, like I'm going to present certain breath works that I do in this, like you got to start considering the quality of the air and, how pure the air is to breathe. Because if you say, for instance, like I'll sometimes sit for an hour or two and do breath work, depending on if I feel it's a good day for it. You should really be kind of somewhat aware that there's different levels of pollution in the air from day to day.
Alrighty, these are the 4 powders that I use for my heavy metal detox drink. So we have spirulina there, and then chlorella. Those are the 2 most important. Next I use is triphala powder, just a little bit to help things move through, and then neem powder, which is just like a general detox. And this is what I've been doing usually about twice a day, and lately I've kind of, it seems to have been like really important to kind of have this stuff. I've kind of upped the amount that I take, where I used to only take it in the morning, where now I'm taking it twice a day, and it seems to be extremely helpful.
Have you ever seen angels fight demons? David's the master class of chess and 7 chambers. The pawns, the light, a dreadful savage, the vitalization. Bearer of light, reward me be twice. You're in my mind. Can't you see? You got it all wrong. You think you won the game, but all you got is a clouded eye. Do you wanna see the truth behind your own misery? You've gone so far, lost yourself to vanity. Not saving war, not saving bloodshed on the battleground. We've lost soldiers, we've lost friends, they've fallen down. I'm taking out the bombs, I'm going in to fight the war. you see? You got it all wrong. You think you won the game, but all you got is a clouded eye. Do you wanna see the truth behind your own misery? You've gone so far, but lost yourself to vanity. Wipe that cloud away and let the rain fall down. See the world for what it truly is, what it truly is. A song and dance of a picture show, a picture show. What a sight to see of made up dreams of song and dance. Can't you see? You got it all wrong. You think you won the game, but all you got is a clouded eye. Do you wanna see me the truth behind your own misery? You've gone so far, but lost yourself to vanity. The birth of dawn cast darkness away to light me up with reason, with reason. Truth will come and misery will fall. Break my cage and fill my soul. Forgiving all the marched who fall. Shadows fill the ground with holes. Sacrifice to weather storms. My dissidence of worldly norms. Graceful gifts will set a place, and fogs will lift my wasted days. My wasted